Hello, I'm going to show you how to use Illustrator to recreate your Mondrian inspired image. So you see on the left, I've got my really rough sketch. And then on the right, I've got the Mondrian that I'm being influenced by. And up at the top is the physical structure that I am going to put my Mondrian on. So I'm doing sort of an object and an environment at the same time. I'm going to this play structure up the top where you see these panels. That's what I'm going to put my Mondrian pattern on, and then I'm going to paint the bars black and make some of these steps different colors to feel completely Mondrian. So the first thing I want to do is, you see my image here that I'm going to be tracing. I want to lock that so it doesn't move around. So if I go up to Object, so anything that's dealing with something on the page very often is an object. So that's the first place I go. So I'm going to lock and then hit selection. Okay, so now you see over here we have color palettes that automatically come with with Illustrator. So the top two rows are very intense breakdowns of different colors. So you can see, for example, this yellow is mostly yellow and a little bit of cyan, which gives it a little green tint. The orange has no cyan or black at all, so it's very vibrant. And then there are these colors here, which are fairly primary. So I noticed that Mondrian's blue is a much deeper blue. His red's a little bit more orange, although this is a reproduction and I'm looking at it on my screen, but that's what I have. I don't have one of his paintings hanging up in my room here to look at. So I tend to like to make my own swatches by putting them right on my screen here. So I'm going to put 4 boxes here. And I can start by selecting that blue. So the blue, the outline was on top and the fill is in the back. So that's why I got the outline, and then I can make the outline none. And so whatever's on top is what's going to be affected. So now I'm going back to this arrow, my selection tool, sorry. And I can see over here the breakdown that I've got 100% cyan and 90% magenta. So I want to make it a little deeper so I can add a little bit of black to that. What I can also do is just bring it, well, I don't even have to bring it down there. What I can do is take the eyedropper tool, which looks like an eyedropper. I'm going to click the eyedropper tool and do just grab that color, okay? So then I can also do that for this. I can grab my eyedropper and grab the orange and grab my eyedropper and grab that yellow. But you can also play and mix your own colors. So say this orange, I just wanted it, I didn't believe that it was that orange and I wanted to make it a little bit more red. So I could pump up the magenta here and then also pump up the cyan, and that looks a little richer. So you might want to tailor your different colors here, okay? So here, so what you can do is then you can drop right on to, so the swatch showed up right there. So you can go and drop swatches in. Sometimes I just leave them on my screen and that's fine too. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my rectangular tool, and I am going to, actually one thing I want to do is make sure that this is totally square. So see how it distorts? So if I hold down the Shift key, it will make it a perfect square. Okay, so I can let that go. I'm going to reverse that out, and I'm going to make this a black line in the back there. Okay, so now I can go and grab, so what I'm doing is this part right here, I'm being very influenced by what I see here. So I'm starting out with yellow. I've broken up the percentages a little bit more, but I'm basically going with this shape. And then I'm going to zoom in here a bit and going to draw another box. Now see the way that pink line shows up? So the program will also automatically snap if you have snap or smart guides. See, snap to point is the smart guides are the pink lines that are showing, and snap to point is what's making it connect there. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this and put it over here because, you know, I'm not sure. Wow, I got that as a perfect square. Oh, it's because I was using the snap too. That's why that wasn't luck. It was the machine made it happen. So you see his whites look a little bit different here. This is actually a grayish color, and this is a white. So I am grabbing that white, which it's interesting. Here it reads as white, but here it almost reads as a gray. So I do want it to be more white, so I'm going to make another color swatch. So the color was already selected, so it automatically showed up. And so I'm going to click this color, make it on top over here, and I am going to pull back on all of these colors just to make it a little bit brighter. And somehow I was messing around and lost my yellow one. So I'm going to copy, paste, and grab my eyedropper. So I have that yellow there. Okay. So I can go and put a stroke on all of these. So the stroke is what we call a line. So here's the stroke palette here. I'm going to pull this over here for a moment. So we can expand our palettes by clicking this little teeny tiny double arrow. So see the way every time I click it, it expands. Okay. So I want all my lines to be thicker, and I'm going to start with 2 points. Not enough. I'm going to make it 6 points. Okay. So now one of the things, if you look at this blue line down the middle there, so that blue line tells me where it's adding that thickness. So let me show you if I make this 10, see the way the whole thing got thick on either side. And notice how it's not aligning here as neatly anymore. So I'm going to hit the shift key so I can select all of these at once. So I'm going to go back to 6, but the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change where that blue line is. So I am going to pull that blue line to the outside. So notice what's happened there. So it grew, and the blue line is on the inside. And so see the way these overlap now? You see the way that happened? So now I'm going to redo that, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I make them on the inside. So now I can go, and when I zoom in here, I can align this even with that. But then the thing that happens is, excuse me, this looks thicker because it's a double thickness line, and so is this here. So I can just move this up and align that like that. That's one technique, and then I can move this up, and then I can cheat this over here and cheat this over here. So I could do that. Or another thing that I could do is, so when I go to draw this side over here, if I go and I draw this box here, I could decide to not have any line weight at all, which means I would put a 0 for the point. Okay, so there's my 0. And then I could put the other color in next to it. So again, I'm letting my boxes snap to each other, and also letting the pink guides show up. So I can use my eyedropper to grab another color here. I forget what I was working on this part here, so I'm going to grab this blue. I'm just going to grab any color for now. So here we've got the blue, and let me put another box down here. I'm going to figure out really what the harmony is for my colors after I'm done making this, I think. just going to focus on technique for you now. So now I've got these boxes all drawn so that they're aligning. And now what I can do is I can take the line tool and I can create a line. Now see the way it moves back and forth? If I hit the shift key, it forces it to constrain. So now I've put a line there and I could make this 10 points and it's, you see the black shows on the outline. And then I can draw a line across here. And so see the way it is remembering the way I'd drawn those lines before. And so then I can go and create a box around the whole thing. And I can make, this box already has no fill. So it has a memory. It retains the last thing that you used for that. This 10, why did I make this 10 points? That's way too thick. But you see what I'm doing there. I'm going to put this on hold, clean this up, and bring you back in here in a moment. Okay, you can see that I've worked on this some more. I continue to refine my colors. I made my yellow a little brighter and mixed some grays and whites, and I decided it was best for me to draw the lines after putting the color in. So you see here's a separate line, right? So one thing that I want to tell you how to do is these lines, you can make them go in front and back. So if I was trying to do something with this, these boxes in here, I might have trouble with what's in front and what's in back. So if you go to Object, Arrange, you can bring something forward to the front or to the back. So you can, I can just say bring to the front when I was done drawing so that this box is in the front. The other thing I want to show you too is if you are drawing something and you want to make a reverse of it. So let me show you things like that. So if I take this, I can go up to Object, Transform, and I can reflect, which turns it horizontal or vertical. Okay. The other thing that you can do up here is you can rotate and you can shear, which, let me put an angle here, bigger, 30%, and hit OK. And so it does that. I don't know if you need to do that, but it's there. And I keep doing Command Z to go back. So there's not histories in this program like there is in Photoshop. So it's Command Z or Control Z to undo. That's something that you should all know right away. It's once you make a mistake, the first thing you want to do is Command Z or Control Z. Okay, so now that I have these images here, I want to export this file. So first I'm going to save as a native Illustrator file. So I'll call this, I'll just call it my design for right now. And I'm saving it as an AI file. And you want to save that because you want to, if you ever have to go back and make alterations, it's your native file that is not flattened and it's an editable version. And say OK. And then I am going to take this as well. And with Illustrator, the unique thing is that you can save it as a PDF and it will open and you can rework it. But I am going to show you how to export as. You can select a PNG or a JPEG. So I'm going to select JPEG. So I have the same file saved as a flattened JPEG or as my working Illustrator.